And here we go with the fourth video tonight. So we are still doing good. Trying to get some videos knocked out. It's now 10:50. I started at 10:04 and I'm starting my fourth video, so that's not too bad. Hopefully these videos I can do with very little editing, but we will see. So this one is going to be about a lifestyle change I'm going to be making. So if you're interested, keep watching. So, I mean, it's not really something that I hide or anything, but I am obviously overweight, as I'm sure that you can tell by my face, and if you've seen my body, I am not a small girl. I've never been. So I've always been overweight my whole entire life, and I think that a lot of that stems back to just not necessarily eating the right things even as a little kid. So I've always had a really hard time with losing weight. I remember for both my junior and my senior prom when I was in high school, I worked my ass off, literally my ass off. Every day I was working out. I was working out at home doing Zumba, Jillian Michaels workouts, Biggest Loser workouts, like was working out every single day for probably 3 or 4 months in advance of prom, and I seriously would lose like 5 pounds. I was eating right, counting calories. I have tried it. I've tried Weight Watchers. I have tried counting calories. I have exercised in the gym 5 days a week. I've done weight training. I've done cardio. You name it, I have done it. And except for taking diet pills and those crazy diets like the Special K diets and the Atkins diets, like I want to lose weight, I don't want to kill myself. So and a lot of those diets are really bad for your body, and the way that you lose the weight is not healthy, and you end up putting more weight back on. So I actually was prescribed like a weight loss assistant type pill, but it was through my doctor, and I took it, did really good. I lost like 15 pounds in a month. I felt great when I was taking it, and then I had this spell where I like fainted, and my doctor was like, we're pulling you off of it, you need to stop it immediately. So I stopped it, and a few months later, once I had some testing done, he was like, okay, you can go ahead and start taking it. Like, he prescribed it to me again. He's like, but this is the last month, because with this one, you were only allowed to take it for 3 months, and I passed out in the middle of my 2nd month. So I took it for that 3rd month. During all the time I was taking it, I was kind of like watching what I was eating. I was doing more like healthy green smoothies and salads, and counting my calories and going to the gym. And the 3rd month I took it, I didn't really lose any weight at all. I still felt better on it, but I wasn't really like, I wasn't seeing the results like I did the first time I took it. So I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism when like probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I started taking thyroid replacement. But with a lot of people, like when they start taking that and their thyroid's balanced out, they start feeling a lot better and they lose weight and yada yada yada. Well, to be honest, I still feel like crap. I'm exhausted all the time, and a lot of the doctors look at me and they say, well, it's because you're a college kid. And I was like, yeah, I'm a college kid, but I'm not a typical college kid. When I was in college, I would still get 9 hours of sleep a night. Probably the least was like 7, and sometimes I was even sleeping 10, 11 hours a night, and I was still just exhausted the next day. So I switched doctors. I'm at a new doctor. She's done a bunch of tests, and they still are not sure what's wrong. So I'm actually going to, I guess, kind of take matters into my own hands and start this lifestyle change. Like I said before, I had tried the counting calories and everything, but I feel like sometimes when you do that, you aren't necessarily eating what's good for your body. you're eating what has the least amount of calories, which sometimes are those little 100-calorie snack pack things when you're hungry, and not a piece of fruit which has almost 200 calories. You're eating the 100 calorie pack that is processed and is junk for your body. So I have actually kind of recently came across like clean eating. I had heard about it before, but I was like, that sounds ridiculous. Like, there's no way I could do that. I don't have time for that. So my mom's work did it in January of this year, and I kind of tagged along with them. I was like a week behind. They did it for 30 days. I started a week after they did, and I did really good. I didn't really lose any weight, but I felt pretty good. So then I got into the middle of school and everything was absolutely freaking nuts, and I started eating junk again, and we were eating out like 2, 3, 4 times a week, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, just not good for your body. So now that I'm done with school and I have time to meal plan and sit down and, you know, go to the grocery store and spend time meal prepping and stuff, I'm going to start clean eating. So today was actually my last day not clean eating, I guess you could say. And so I went and I got myself a chocolate bar. I had some pop. I made beef Manhattans for dinner and ate all the carbs I wanted to eat and all the processed food I wanted to eat. And tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to start fresh, and I'm going to get into clean eating, and I'm going to get back to the gym. So I know a lot of people are like, what's this clean eating you speak of? There's no way I can do it. It's really hard. I thought the same thing, but don't be fooled. It's really not that difficult. Basically what it is you are eliminating processed foods from your diet. So that means no fast food. Pretty much, like, you have to be careful what you eat at restaurants. It's a little bit more difficult. Typically people that clean eat will have kind of like one cheat meal a week or whatever, and that's typically what I did when I did it. So when I did it back in January, the majority of my meals were clean eating. So I would have a hamburger, but I would make the hamburger at home myself, and I would not have a bun. I would make homemade fries out of potatoes. I would cut up potatoes and I would bake them in the oven with a little bit of like seasoned salt and a little bit of garlic, and bake them in the oven, and all of that would be clean. So I would eat ketchup with it, but I would just have a small little bit. Ketchup is not clean. It is very processed, but to me it was about balancing what I was eating. So I started buying the blocks of cheese and shredding it myself instead of buying the shredded cheese, because that's processed. That's considered processed too. I started buying the Greek yogurt because it's less processed. I started buying whole fresh fruits and vegetables or frozen fruits and vegetables, but I've never really been like a big canned vegetable person anyway, but I completely stayed away from it. Probably the only thing that I eat in a can now is 100% tuna packed in water, not oil. I will also occasionally eat chicken packed in a can, but I don't really like to. So it's just basically about eating things that are not processed. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to eat organic. They say that organic's good for you, but organic is expensive, and I know that sometimes it can be hard to spend that money. So that just basically means like fresh fruits and vegetables, frozen fruits and vegetables, but that does not mean the ones that are packed in cheese and have added sugar and stuff like that either. They're the plain broccoli that is frozen directly from, like, after it's picked, basically. When you're shopping, they say if you're clean eating, you stick to the perimeter of the store, because that is the most fresh foods. So when you're clean eating, you know, you stay away from processed lunch meats. I will eat them every once in a while for like a lunch or something, but I do not put it on bread. I just eat it. I will eat string cheese because it's very minimally processed. No bacon, no turkey bacon. I do eat eggs. I do drink milk. I will use butter instead of margarine, but I very lightly use butter. I try not to heavily cook with it. I will still use my like oils if I need to cook with them, but I don't like fry anything. So that's just kind of like the gist of clean eating. Pinterest is pretty good for clean eating recipes. However, you have to kind of know and learn what is clean eating and what's not clean eating. So you might search a clean eating recipe and it has a tortilla with it. But a tortilla is processed, and it doesn't matter if it's gluten-free, it doesn't matter if it's dairy-free, it doesn't matter if it's whatever free, it's still processed. So every once in a while I will use a tortilla and I'll make a wrap, but I try to make it a whole wheat and find like the ones with the least ingredients. And kind of my theory is if you don't know what the ingredients mean on the back, you probably shouldn't buy it, because that means that it's got junk in it that's not good for your body. So like today I went to the grocery store and I planned my meals, and then I went to the grocery store. And so for lunches I have I bought avocados, I bought canned tuna packed in water like I said, and cottage cheese. And you measure your portions, and I like eating that all cold and then kind of eating it together. I also I'll eat leftovers from the night before. You can eat brown rice, you can eat quinoa. Those aren't processed. As long as they are not the ones that are in the package like Bin's Ready Rice, that is considered processed. I did have to buy canned tomatoes, but I shop at a grocery store called Meijer, and it was Meijer brand, and it was naturals, and it was they're organic, and it was tomatoes, and literally there was 2 ingredients. It was like tomatoes and salt. I knew exactly what both of those were, and so I bought them. But for the majority, everything was bought from the perimeter of the store. The only things that were bought that were processed were foods for my grandma, because I bought her stuff when I went to the grocery store today too, and she's not clean eating, and my fiance cereal, because he's not clean eating all the time either. He also got some canned soup, which I will not eat for his lunches and stuff. So if you guys are interested, I can kind of sit down and do like a clean eating meal plan, like what my meals look like for a couple weeks or something, and I can sit down and I might even be able to film some recipes of different clean recipes that I'm using. I can also film like a what I'm eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a week if you guys are interested in that. If you're interested in any of those, leave a comment down in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.